Hello everyone, this is Carol and I'm back to share some more of my creative thoughts. This time I am sharing with my small thoughts collection, and this little journal was the last small thoughts that I have in stock in my Etsy, and I just sold it, so I thought I better do a video because I hadn't done one yet. So I hope you'll enjoy it. This little book is 4.5 inches by 5.5 inches, has a 3/4 inch spine, and I have used the Tim Holtz Wallflower paper pack on the cover and throughout the book. This is a double file folder, and it makes kind of a little hardback cover. I have put a little metal flower because the theme of this book is vintage floral. We'll go in, and inside is paper. Most of this book has paper from my stash, or I have a few ephemera from different collections that I will share with you. This is a tag that I made for the book. My tags are all lined on the back, so that gives more writing space. And this is a little journal that lots and lots of paper to write on. It's for that person that wants a lot of writing space with a little decorative touch to it. So I have taken this first flap here, or tuck spot, is an envelope that you will see in the back that doesn't have the flap, and I have used that for something else, so I'll show you toward the end of the journal. And this is a little piece. This is from Artie Mays, one of her collections, and that is lined for writing space. All the coffee dyed paper, all the paper in here has been coffee dyed. I've done lots of stamping on several pages throughout the book. And here's a little Carol Wilson paper that I had in my stash, and that makes a tuck spot and a little place to write. And here's two more. These are Artie Mays tickets that I had in my stash, and journaling cards. More writing space with some stenciling and some stamping. Little doily, more stamping and writing space. Here's another, I believe this is an Artie Mays, and I backed it. This had, I did the lines on that, so you have more writing space. There's a little tuck spot there. There's a stamp. And more stamping. This is a napkin decoupage at the top of the page. Just a little corner there. There's a little bee stamped in the corner. And here's the middle of the first of 3 signatures. This book has, let's see, I believe it has 3 signatures. I believe there's, I want to say 88 pages, and I am so sorry. I will link that below. More stamping, more stenciling. Here's a little journaling spot, another Artie Mays tab that I had in my stash from one of her kits. And here's a little fold over for writing space that was from paper in my stash also. The other side of that doily and little bird is a stamp. And again, more stamping and space to write. And there's coffee dyed paper. And here's another one of those foldovers with a little bit of stamping on it, places to write. And these are more journaling cards and little tags to write on. And here is one of those Rita Donnelly flip-ups with a doily folded over and some flat back pearls. And I have done those in, I've colored them with a marker to kind of coordinate with the book. And there is another journaling card, and here's one. I believe this one is to Sami Rose, I want to say that is. And here's another journaling card from my stash And I believe that is to Sami Rose also in her collection. Then another tuck spot. This is from the Tim Holtz Wallflower paper pack that I've made a little tag with. And I've also made a tag with that from the paper pack. Here's another journaling card. And space to write. Lots and lots of space to write in this little journal. And more stamping. And, or I'm sorry, that's stenciling there. And here's a stencil. And then here's another journaling card. And that, no, that doesn't open up. That is a card that I have made from the background paper. And here's a little flip down journaling space and pocket combined. Another doily. And here's one of the Crafty Irene's paper clips that I have made and clipped to the paper. More stamping. Here's the middle of the second signature, and here's another flap with a stamp of a fountain pen on it and lined paper to write inside. Another one of the Artie Mays tickets, and I've made this into a little folder with lines to write on it. And there is paper from my stash, and that is just paper to write on. Lots of extras in here. I believe there are 30 plus tags and journal cards in here. And here is more stenciling, the other side of that doily, and more stamping. This is from the Artie Mays Precious Memories kit, and I've made that into a tag. And this is another little journaling card. And this is just a tuck spot with a flower that I made from paper from my stash, and there's some cheesecloth behind it. And here is more napkin decoupaged paper on the corners. Another stamping place, and here's a little corner that I had in my stash. I thought, oh, that would look cute there. That's the end of the second signature, and here's the beginning of the third with stamping and more paper to write. Here's a little one of Artie Mays' jars, mason jars, with place to write on the back also. And I made this card from one of the Wallflower paper, and I just made a tag out of it, and there is a tag made out of a little scrap that I had in my stash. Then here's a Martha Stewart punch made from the cardstock, and I coffee dyed it. And there's another tag that I made from the paper. Another doily. And here again is another one of those tickets that I folded over and made into writing space, as well as this is a writing journaling card that I made from the Wallflower paper. And there's another corner that I made with, and then these are recollection flowers. Then here's another corner, Carol Wilson paper that I had in my stash, and I folded it over and made a Rita Donnelly flip. Another one of those little tags that I made from the Wallflower paper, and here's a downsized bingo card that I had in my stash. And here's another card, journaling card. And more stenciling. There's a little washi tape to glitz it up a little bit. That's my favorite washi tape. I like to use that. Here's the middle of the third signature with little flowers on the strings again. And more stenciling, a little bird stamp, and here's a little fold over that is for writing, more writing space. And there's another one of those little things I had in my stash. Put that in there. And there's the other side of that doily and more paper. Some of the paper I just left plain so that it could be written on a little more easily, possibly. And this says, there are always flowers for those who want to see them. Henry Matisse. I believe that's an Artie Mays little from one of her images. And there's, I'm sorry, Tusami Rose is who that is. And this is Artie Mays here. And another paper for writing. And then the last page has a little tuck spot with a postcard in it for writing on the back. And that brings us to the last tag here. And I put lace and cardstock here to make a tuck spot. There's more of that Wallflower paper. And as I always do, this is the other side of that envelope that I made the tuck spot in the front from the flap to the envelope. I cut that off, and then I put this card in that I always put in with all of my information on it, and I sign it to go into the journal. And that was paper from my stash. And that goes into the back there. That completes this little Creative Thought, Small Thoughts journal. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I just thank you for all your comments and the nice things you've said on my Facebook groups, and I just appreciate it so much. And I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will be back with another video shortly. I have one more to do, and then I'm back to work on more journals. Thanks so much.